I just want to find some cane so I can make paper. I think that's how you make it. Oh, mushroom. Hey. Give me that mushroom. Let's build our little tower here. And maybe, wait, can I see the... I mean, I guess I don't need to... I'm about to fucking die here. This is gonna suck. There we go, there we go, there we go, there we go. Oi, got it, boy. Oh, I ran out. Just kidding. There we go. Mm. Get out. Jesus, fuck. Gotcha. definitely need more torches. I don't know. Oh no. Oh, bitch.
survival farms. All of these farms will require very few resources and only a little bit of time to set up, but will give you tons in return. So the first farm here is the classic cow crusher, and all you need for it is a few building blocks, a hopper, a chest, a fence, and a water bucket. So I like to dig a little area here, and I'm going to place my chest and hopper right on top of that, surrounded by a few building blocks right up here, and break some ground to expose your chest. So I'm going to build this up one more block, and we need to get some cows in this little hole right here. You have a couple of options. You can either use a lead to drag a cow in the hole, or just use a piece of wheat to try to entice some cows to fall in the hole on their own. It can take a little bit of time, but the cows will eventually fit. You just have to line them up perfectly. So once you get 2 or more cows in this hole, place your fence on top of it, just like this, and I would place your water bucket right on top of the hopper. Just line it up perfectly, and there you go. You want to make sure you place the fence first, because once the water's placed, the cows are going to start jumping like crazy, and it'll be hard to get them in here. So once you have 2 or more cows in here and they're all set, just start breeding them with some wheat. What will happen is you keep increasing the cow population, and once you get up to 25 cows, Minecraft is going to say you can't fit any more cows inside of here. Once you get to that many cows, what happens is Minecraft will kill off the adult cows while leaving the baby cows in the farm. So you just continuously breed them and create more cows, and the adult cows will drop all of their drops in the chest right here, giving you not only an unlimited, really easy food source at the beginning of the game, which is one of the best food sources, but also it gives you all of the leather you need for books for your bookshelves, for your enchantment table to get it set up early on. The next farm we have is literally the easiest iron farm in Minecraft that requires no zombie and also no name tag. So you'll need everything inside of this chest here, including 5 villagers. So I recommend building this near a village so you can easily transfer them over here, but not quite in the village, or else you might mess up the iron golem spawning. So what we're going to do once we have our resources is take our building blocks and build up 10 blocks.
Are you really gonna miss this?
We do this training once a year. There's 800,000 to 1 million people that'll join us, and it's an opportunity for you at absolutely no cost to figure out how to create a blueprint for what's next in your life. How to be able to be in a position where you could start something.
And once you have that completed, create with some wheat block, and we need to get some cows. Bucket. So I like to dig a little. Cow crusher, and all you need for it is a few building blocks, a hopper, a chest, a fence, and a water bucket. So I like to dig a little area here, and I'm gonna place my chest. And hopper right on top of. That box, a hopper, a chest, a fence, and a water bucket. So I like to dig a little area here, and I'm gonna place my chest and hopper right on top of that, surrounded by a few building blocks right up here. And break some ground to expose your chest. So I'm going to build this up one more block, and we need to get some cows. In this little hole right here. You have a couple of options. You get You can either use a lead to drag a cap of the leather you need for in the chest right here, giving you not only an unlimited, really easy food source at the beginning of the game, which is one of the best food sources, but also it gives you all of the leather you need for books for your bookshelves, for your enchantment table to get it set up early on. The next farm we have is literally the easiest iron farm in Minecraft that requires no zombie and also no name tag. So you'll need everything inside of this chest here, including 5 villagers. So I recommend building this near a village so you can easily transfer them over here, but not quite in the village, or else you might mess up the iron golem spawner. So what we're going to do once we have our resources is take our building blocks and build up 10 blocks. And once you have that completed, create a 5x5 platform on top of here by building out in each direction 2 additional blocks and then filling it all in. So with our platform up here, we're going to place beds exactly how I placed them. It's a bit of a funky pattern, so follow me along. Right on the edge here, 1 block from here, we're going to place a bed, place another one in this direction, and then place the last 3 just like this. So this is the bed formation we have on top of the platform. So with the beds in place, we're going to take our building block and place a 1 block high wall around the beds just like this, and then on top of this, we're going to place a 2 block high wall of glass. Once your farm looks like this would be the point in which you get your villagers in the farm, and there's a few really easy ways we can do this. What I recommend to start off with whatever method you're doing is just to start from the farm and create a descending staircase down to the ground so your villagers have a way to get up. Now, frequently people use a rail and minecart system to haul villagers all the way from the village into the farm, but that can take a long time. So I'm going to show you guys my preferred method, which requires many less resources. Once you're in your village and find your villagers, just place a boat on the ground and villagers are more than willing to go in the boat with you, and then just use the boat to haul them near the farm. Now, boats cannot go up blocks, but we can easily go down, so we just have to make sure we have a direct path to the staircase. Now, we obviously can't ride the boat up the farm, so we have 2 options here. You can either use water buckets to place some water around the farm to sort of ride the boat up the water, or the easy option is just to wait until nighttime and the villagers will pathfind to those beds on their own. We just have to make sure we break the villagers' original bed in the village, but this is the method I use. It's super easy because the villagers will run to any bed they can as soon as it's nighttime. So for this, you need 5 villagers in total, but if you want, you can just start off with 2 villagers and give them bread and some food so that they breed, and they'll eventually make 5, which can take a little bit of time, but you'll get there. So, looking at the farm like this one little area where we have the bed exposed, we're going to place our chest on this corner, and feeding into the chest, we have 3 separate hoppers. 2 hoppers just like this, and the 3rd one goes into either of the other hoppers. As for the rest of the ceiling above the villagers, just fill it in with any building block you want. So, we're almost done with the farm. At this point, take any wall of your choice and build a 3 block high wall around this entire perimeter of the platform. Now from here, we're going to place our signs just like this. 1 here, 1 here, 1 here, and 1 here. This will help contain the lava in a 1 block area. And then in this corner, place your water to flow right where the hopper is. At this point, the farm is completed, but we need to do something to activate it first. To sort of activate the farm, you want to make sure your villagers have slept in their beds at least once so that they claim the beds as their own. And for this little 10 block high thing, you can break this if you want or leave it. I would just make yourself a little pathway to get up to this chest, maybe using ladders or make a staircase. So once we've slept with the villagers and made it daytime, the farm should start working, and oh, we already have our first iron golem. As you can see, the lava's the perfect height for the iron golem's head to burn, but the drops will fall in the hopper and eventually inside of the chest. Just like that. Now, this is no Iron Titan that's going to get you tens of thousands of pieces of iron per hour. However, this only takes a few minutes and a couple of resources to set up, and from my experimentation, I get anywhere between 200 and 300 iron per hour. So if you just AFK for, I don't know, half an hour, you'll pretty much have all the iron you need to start your world, get hoppers, anvils, and a full set of iron armor and tools. This is a really good farm to have, and I always recommend making it right towards the beginning of the world, especially if you're very prone to dying in caves like I am. Next, we have one of my favorite farms in Minecraft, which is the easiest automatic sugarcane farm, which I often use to not only make firework rockets, But also, I trade the sugarcane for tons of emeralds. So here in the farm we have everything we need. You just need some building blocks. Of course, sugarcane, redstone, observers, pistons, hoppers, and chests. I have 5 of each here, but you don't need 5. You could have 1, you could have 10, you could have 20. You can make this farm as expandable as you want. Of course, we need some water and optionally some glass. I enjoy some glass just to see what's going on inside the farm. And then you need a medium to grow the sugarcane on top of. Dirt and sand are obviously the easiest, but mud will actually make this farm a little bit more efficient because occasionally, like 10% of the drops will be lost, but if you use mud, you can collect those drops a lot easier. So I'll show the farm design with mud, but I'll show you how to adjust it if you only have sand or dirt. We're going to take our 5 blocks here, just like that, and then we're going to create a little casing right behind the blocks and fill it up with water so that the sugarcane can grow. Right on top of the water, we have another layer of building blocks, and then facing the sugarcane, we have the pistons. Right behind the pistons, we have another layer of building blocks, and go for your 5 observers and place them on the last pixel of the piston, just like this, so that the observer has its little eyes facing forward. The observers are going to see when the sugarcane grows and trigger the pistons to shoot out, breaking all the sugarcane, automatically depositing. So right behind the observers, we have our 5 pieces of redstone, just like that. Now, if you're using mud, what you're going to do is place a chest just like this right here, and then of course, have your 1 hopper going into the chest and the other ones going into the main hopper. Mud will allow entities to flow through the block, so as you see here, if I throw entities on the block, they just go straight into the hopper and then in the chest. Now, dirt and sand obviously don't have this functionality, so if you have dirt or sand, this is what you're going to do. To make my life easy, I like using a water bucket instead of hoppers, so I'll just place 1 water bucket there, 1 there, and then we can just have a chest right here, and I'll place a hopper like this. You can place 1, 2, however many you want, but yeah, the drops are gonna go in the water, and they'll go in the hopper, just like that. Pretty easy. And then to finish it off, I usually just cover the front and sometimes the ceiling in glass, and the building block I chose just to make my life a lot easier. And then to finish up the farm, I usually just cover it in my building blocks and glass just to make the farm look a little bit nicer and to help contain some of the drops I have. Now, this farm is expandable, so you can make it as wide or as thin as you'd like. You can just make one of these columns and have it a 1-block farm. And you can easily add more layers on top of this and the drops just get pushed down. It's super easy. I definitely recommend you make this farm because just AFKing for a little bit, you'll get so much sugarcane. I really recommend making this farm in the spawn chunks. That way it's loaded in 100% of the time, always producing for you. And even if you have a small farm like this, it's going to give you more sugarcane than you'll ever. Redstone observers, pistons, hoppers, and chests. I have 5 of each here, but you don't need 5. You
No.